Whether you are a buyer, seller, or agent, there's no denying 2024 was an interesting year in real estate. We just want to review what's happened this year. So the number one thing we'll talk about was the NAR lawsuit. So that settled in August. It went into effect August 14th here in Maryland. And Reed, how did that affect you?
Honestly, Lee, it didn't affect us or me personally at all, honestly, because we prepped for it so far in advance and we've always had so much training. Nothing's really changed, right? Maryland was one of 17 states that already had buyer agency, and we always followed the law and created buyer agency before we looked at property. So it honestly, it didn't affect us. I think for the industry, for other agents, it kind of afforded some transparency.
Sure.
But for us, I welcomed it. It was, no change.
Did it change anything on your listing side, or was it pretty much more of the same? What did you see there?
Honestly, it was more of the same. It afforded a little bit more discussions as far as buyer agent compensation.
Sure.
Which we generally always had as well, but just a little bit of paperwork change and a little bit more discussion on buyer side compensation for the agents. But so
recap, setting expectations is huge. Preparation is another big one. So I think leading into it, we started talking about it in March. That's when discussion started. How about with you, Lisa?
Yeah, I think same thing as Reed, but when you talk about prepping a seller or heading to a listing appointment, on average, I probably do an hour and a half worth of preparation, kind of taking a look at the market to make sure we're pricing right. So, and I think our team has always done a great job of just, our knowledge base is so great. We share information with each other, so our clients are well prepared to enter the market whenever the time is right for them.
Yeah, I think the one thing with us, collective information of the group, right? We have 12 agents plus 8 admin, and so that group of 20 plus people that are sharing, hey, I had this happen today, because I'll always say in the morning, like, what learning lesson did we have in this meeting? And then we'll go into all the trainings. In December we've had more trainings probably this month than we did last month. Yeah. But when we continue to work on our craft and make sure that we're taking care of clients and setting great expectation and create that great client experience, then that's all that matters out of it, right?
Yeah, I think it's a common misconception. Being a realtor in general is we don't, we work hard. It takes a lot of preparation, and you talk about our meetings. We're here pretty much 5 days a week, prepping, training. So
9 a.m. in the morning.
That's right.
Yeah.
Breeds results. So.
Exactly.
But, with all of our preparation and with all of our, collaboration, a lot of agents outside of our team, kind of rely and ask, for, hey, what are the trends in the market that, I'm always a advocate to help anybody that I can, no matter if they're on the team or not. So, yeah, I think we're in a great spot.
More from giving.
Yep.
And then I think that your background with being an appraiser as well, that helps tremendously. Because I know the agents and the team still pick your brain, and periodically I'll say to you, what happens on a case like this, and like having that wealth of information because you've been an appraiser for 20 years. So
and knowing all the other appraisers as well.
Yeah.
If I run into something that I haven't seen, I can call one and just say, hey, what do you think about this?
Exactly.
But in preparation, like Lisa said, for these appointments, just because the house sold down the street for X price doesn't mean your house is worth that or more. It could be, or it could not be.
Right.
But, there's different things like, what's your view? Are you on a busy road? What are the updates you've done? And how does that affect or impact your value? And those are the things that we really analyze to basically tell the clients, like, hey, this is where you should price your house, and this is why.
Yeah. It's not walking into an appointment going, how much do you want to sell your house for?
Correct.
Well, what's interesting about that is with, the internet, automated values are everywhere. So I know with you guys too, one of the things we address is, what is Zillow saying your home's worth? What is Redfin saying your home's worth? But
dartboard.
Yeah. So our preparation and looking at the market and the comparables to try to compare apples to apples is critical.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Number 2, high interest rates, right? So beginning of the year, we were around, we had really low inventory. We only had about 200 homes on the market in Hartford County. We had 8% interest rates. They have come down throughout the year. Now we were just checking again this morning, and they're like low 7s for conventional rates. Government-based is more in the 6s. A few months ago, we had in the 5s for government-based, meaning FHA and VA. The trend that we've noticed is when they say they're going to cut rates, which they just cut them yesterday and they went back up today. The trend is, and tell me if you're seeing the same thing, like 3 weeks before when they say they're cutting them, all of a sudden the rates drop.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, as soon as they cut them, rates go back up. So when you guys hear that they're going to cut them, go lock in your rate if you can. Lock it in then a couple weeks ahead of time, because once it does, it spikes back up. Have you guys seen that same thing?
Same thing. 2 to 3 weeks out from a potential Fed rate cut is what we're seeing as a sweet spot.
Yeah.
I think the average consumer is watching the news too, and they're, I think they're very confused about it. What does it mean, the rate cuts? But bottom line is they need to know what their monthly payment is. So I think checking with a professional, like some of the trusted lenders, that we refer people to, can really help them weed through the numbers.
Yep. And this coming year, so some of the predictions are we're going to hear 3 to 5 rate cuts throughout the year. We don't know exactly where they're going to land. And again, they're going to drop beforehand. When they cut them, they end up going back up. So make sure you're trying to cut and lock in before. Talk to a lender professional. We're not professionals in the lending business, but just some of the trends that we're seeing is what I'm talking about. Number 3 is low inventory. Again, I was talking about Harford County in January, February last year. We only had about 200 homes, 212, 215 homes on the market. Today, when I checked it was 399 just in Harford County. So you're starting to see more inventory out there. Buyers are taking longer to make decisions, which it's good. It was so out of control that, 21, 22, like 15 minutes. Do you want to buy it or you don't? Because there's 10 other people that want to buy it, and sometimes 30 when you're getting offers on these properties.
That was a frenzy.
Yeah. So what are you seeing now, and how has the low inventory levels, how's it affected you? Because I think also back to like a 2010 market when there was about 1,700 homes on the market in Harford County compared to 400. So.
Yeah. I think, with lower inventory levels, there was a lot less out there for people to pick. A lot of people were on the fence, especially the people with low interest mortgage rates right now. Why would they move? Mm-hmm. But I think it's a needs-based market too, and there's always people that need to buy and sell. Everybody from, we have downsizers, we have people that are having babies that need bigger spaces, we have job changes. So there's always a need to move, and hopefully with more coming on the market, there'll be more options for people.
Yeah, and buyers, they're afforded more options now, right? Mm-hmm. They, like you said, they don't have to make a decision in an instant. They can take time. We can look at comps. We can advise them, hey, this is where we should come in at based on a myriad of factors. So, yeah, and it leads to less buyer's remorse because they have time to process, do they really want this house, right?
Yeah.
So it's a great time to buy because of that. So
yeah, and then people that bought in 2020 that were rushed in 21 that they were rushed to buy, well, statistically, like 74% they were not happy with their purchase when they were done. The good news is they've had significant appreciation. So if you want to sell that house that you bought in 2021 or 22,
so
give us a call. They have appreciation. They can sell it.
Yeah.
So we're happy to help you there. But also, now you do have more options out there. The part of the problem is interest rates, right? When January 22 is when rates went to about 6%. End of December of 21, they were at 3 and less. So, affordability is a significant factor. That's when you had said it's more of a needs-based market, which it really is. People are buying because of needs. One other thing I've seen is more grandparents relocating to get closer to grandkids as we get later in life. That's one of the important things. That's enjoyment and so forth. So just things that are making people move. They're not just moving to go, I just want a bigger house.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's not it.
That's true.
Because you got to weigh out the costs. And costs are significant. So the last thing is just a brief overview for next year, what we're seeing. So we've read a lot of articles, seen a lot of podcasts, so forth. I would say overview. This year we had about 6% appreciation for 2024. Next year we're probably 3 to 4% appreciation. We're going to have interest rates come down some. It's like last year, they were 8 to 7s. Maybe we're going to go some 7 to 6s, maybe high 5s. I probably don't see that it's going to get much better than that because of the bond market. Mortgages are based off bond market, and because of bond market adjustment, that's where we're seeing the biggest things. Days on market still really quick. We're only in the 3-week range, somewhere between 21 and 28 days, depending Baltimore, Harford, Baltimore Metro Area. So, and then mortgage rates, again, they are what they are. So biggest thing is finding what you like. And then when rates change, you can always refinance. So that's an option. Or if mortgages are higher, how much equity do you have in the property that you're in, that you save some of that towards payments on that increase in payment. So, hey, I'm getting $50,000 more than I thought. All right, now I got 50 payments of $1,000 more that I can put to the next house. Because the good thing is, they've continued to renew this, is capital gains wise, if it's your primary residence and you're a married couple, you can make $500,000 on a property with no tax. A single individual is $250,000. That gives you tax-free money that you can go into a next property or do anything that you want with. Anything else in closing?
I think what you just said is basically people need to know their financial situation, and the best way to do that is to enlist professionals to help you. You know, we're all full-time realtors here. We do this for a living. We're passionate about it. You know, you need a good lender to help you figure out your financial situation. And I think that's what our team provides, is just a full service, you know, to help people make their best decision when it's time to move.
That's great, Lisa. I mean, you hit it right there. But, you know, with us, it's the professionalism, and it is, you know, our knowledge base, because we've sold so many properties, right? We are the professionals. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, you know, whether it's now or in a few years, reach out to us.
Yeah, the average agent's selling less than 3 homes a year right now. You know, Reed, you've been between 60 and 80 homes, and Lisa, you're in the 40 to 50 home range all the time. As a team, we've sold well over 5,000 homes. We have the experience. We're happy to answer questions that you guys have. This is not our first rodeo. We're going to give you great guidance all the way through the transaction and give you expectations going into it, which is even more important. So I hope this helps. Have a great day.